out of Special Forces, amigo. He's got it all going on. Snake hips and eyes that just see everything. The ground shakes again. It trembles as the Colossus heads northeast. Lovely a bit of covering fire there from the Hoogster. Fake Jacob catches them on the side. No helmet left now for the Jakester. Revealing his cap. He's in a team-sanctioned cap. What's the cap say? It says, "Give me my chicken dinner, you bastards." Fake Jacob holding this together with string and good hopes. Hard push down, bash down. This is fucking ridiculous. Jacob going ham, 18 kills, and there's only one left between him and victory. Forget about it. Give it up. There's no point starting. He's taken out a fifth of the freaking lobby. If you don't love that kind of action, then I can't help you.
What's going on, guys? This is Riggs, and we have the brand new, and I know this is one of the most popular series on the channel, but a brand new episode of How to Play Like a Pro, featuring none other than Fake Jacob. Many of you watching this might have heard of him, but the majority of you probably have not. And I couldn't be more happy to present not only his talent to you guys, which you guys will be watching on the screen. Usually these videos you have to watch twice. One, to listen to all of the, just tons of information shared. He's going to be talking about his favorite loadouts and why, his best map to rank on, ranking tips in general, not only if you're playing with friends or clanmates, but for those of you that have to play with randoms, he's going to be sharing tips with you guys, where the game stands as far as hacking, which you know that we cover quite a bit on the channel, and of course, his top 5 tips to make you a better player. And this season, he did reach Conquer in 2 days. That's right. In 2 days, in less than 100 matches, he made it into Conquer, and he's been Conquer way back. He's been playing since Season 1, but he got Conquer in Season 2 and in Season 3, where he got an FPP. So he's done it in both perspectives. He's played a lot. He's not only played like in a couple different pro leagues, like Wicked's Pro League, but also in Tempo T1 or Tier 1 scrims. So he definitely has a lot of experience, and you'll see that solely based on the gameplay. But what I will have down in the description before we jump into the questions, make sure you guys check him out, not only on Trovo, I'll have that link in the description where he does all of his live streams. He pretty much live streams daily. And of course, the link to his Instagram and his YouTube. Make sure you guys check him out. And yeah, so we'll go ahead and get started. So, the softball question you guys already know. What is your favorite map to play on and why? He says, I like Erangel best as it is the most balanced map. One of the things that Erangel has that no other map has is easily accessible cars. Cars are super important to making good rotations and being able to choose your fights. All right, next question. What is your favorite loadout and why? He says, I like the M4 Uzi as they work together so perfectly and make up for each other's weaknesses. The M4 is super versatile and can laser people long range, but in close range fights doesn't have a high enough DPS. The Uzi can absolutely destroy people close range, doesn't have hipfire movement penalty, and has a tight hipfire bullet spread. He says, I carry 6 or more nades. I have it set to 20 so I can carry max capacity and 3 to 4 smokes. He says, if not, he carries 8 smokes and 4 nades in scrim. So there's a difference between what he carries in a scrim versus what he carries in a classic match. There's a big difference between the two. Next question. You're known to many as one of the fastest bolt action snipers out there, but you rarely use them. Why? He says, it's mainly because of my playstyle. I like taking close range fights instead of having a long range fight that takes a long time, and where you're just be exchanging knocks. A bolt action doesn't really fit into the playstyle, so instead I use the Uzi with the M4 over bolt action with M4. Close range fights is also the reason why I carry so many nades and so few smokes. One thing I will do, I'll link a card up at the top. We actually featured him maybe, I don't even know, 8, maybe 9 months ago, where I did a reaction video. Many of you guys, Riggs, where's your face? I did a full-on face cam reaction to one of his sniper montages. Again, that card is up at the top. Make sure you guys check that out after watching this video. Next question. I said, what tips would you give someone trying to rank that plays with randoms? One thing we've done quite a bit on this channel is we often talk about randoms because the majority of people out there are playing with them, and it can be oh so frustrating. So this is what his tip is for you out there that plays with random squads, people you don't know. He says, find people to play with. Join a clan or send out friend requests. You don't need insane teammates who frag out. You need teammates that work together, stick tight, and use comms, or like voice. I'd rather have a teammate that's okay but works as a team rather than a person who's a super fragger who runs out by himself and ends up getting himself killed. Also, another great way, just to interject something, another great way, since we've been doing it so much on the channel as well as his, another great way to meet people is in the live streams. You can talk to somebody live, people watching the chat, people that care enough about the game to watch a live stream and learn something. That's also a great way to find people to play with, is in live streams. So just a little tip right there. Next question. I said, if you could fix one thing in the game, what would it be and why? He says the obvious answer is hackers, but other than that, I'd want true 100-man classic matches. He says crew challenge is super fun because it's basically 80-man classics, and the difference between a normal classic is absolutely huge. Crew challenge versus a classic match. He says so much more fun and a lot more action. The second thing I would change is shift the comp scene back to FPP. Whoa. Did not see that one coming. He says in PMCO, PMPL, whatever thingy, he says you end up with 5 teams snaking in the final circle, which never happened in FPP. FPP, I feel like, takes more tactics and is much more better for the comp scene. That could almost be a whole separate video, but he does bring up a good point, because back when FPP was still like a thing where a lot of people were playing it, we actually had a split where they would have one tournament. I think it was the Star Challenge, where half the matches were FPP and the other half were TPP. That has completely been ripped out of the book, and it's all TPP all day for everything. Even ESL, which I think was one of the last true FPP, like big, pro tournaments. Even ESL is TPP, so that's very, very interesting. I said, what is your favorite food and why? He says salmon. Salmon is good. All right, moving on to the next question. I said you play on phone and iPad. Do you think iPad has a significant advantage over phone? Does playing phone have an advantage in your opinion? He said iPad's 2 biggest advantages is being able to see people more easily, and hipfire is more easy because of it. Phone, though, has its own advantages as well. From the start, he started off playing phone on full gyro. He says that he felt like his recoil was much smoother than on his iPad, which he controls with his finger. He says gyro recoil long range has much more potential than fingers on an iPad, as you can make more adjustments per second. Next question. I said, do you miss zombie mode like I do? He says they need to bring it back. Let me know if you guys made it this far. I'm sure you have. If you've made this far in the video, right before we get into his top 5 tips, let me know what you think of zombie mode. Please, PUBG, if you're watching this, please bring back zombie mode. Take your pick, as long as it's not the melee one. But the Darkest Night and then the other one, the survival one, those zombie modes were badass. Okay, here we go. Last and final question I have for him, which is the one the majority of you are here for, which is what 5 tips would you give someone who wants to improve their gameplay? So here we go. So tip number 1, he says take fights, hot drop, and play aggressive. Not aggressive where you needlessly are getting yourself killed, but don't be afraid to take fights. If you sit in a shack all game, you might get good rank, but at the end of the day, you haven't improved at all. That's facts right there. Even if you don't play that much, a person who takes 15 fights in an hour and loses a couple matches improves more than someone who spends 4 hours playing super passive. Having more fight experience and not being afraid to die also means you'll play more calmly, and as a result, make better in-game decisions. Tip number 2, he says never settle, and this is one thing I've heard him talk a lot about as well, but pay attention. He says never settle with your settings and controls. Even after having my claw layout after 2 years, I'm still making tiny changes to see if something feels better. It's the same with sensitivity. I put it up or down a few percentage when it feels off, and through that my recoil gets a lot better. The important thing is to not make such big changes that you have to relearn everything or can't revert back to what it was before if it feels off. Move a single button a little bit, or move a sense up or down a few percentages. That was a really, really good tip there. All right, tip number 3, when in a gunfight, think about it from your enemy's perspective. I love this. He says, have a mental map of where your enemies are at, what cover is around, and where they will likely rotate to and peek from. After doing this for a while, it becomes very easily predicting and pre-firing where they're coming from or making better rotation / angle decisions. Trying to get into the minds of the enemy. Know why. Tip number 4: know why you lost. After you lose a game, don't go straight to the lobby and start another one. Know why you lost and what could have been done better to win that fight. Whether it be communication, recoil control, rotating out, missing your shots, or whatever. You need to learn from your mistakes to get better. And here's tip number 5. He says, get good. And for those of you guys that watch my live streams as well as his, you know the excitement between a knock or a grenade kill. But anyway, tip number 5, get good with nades as an individual and as a team. Nades are super underused, and even if they don't knock someone, they can throw teams off, meaning like when it deafens their sound. He says nades be underrated. So, like I said, it's been a while. I think the last person we featured in the How to Play Like a Pro series was Peppa Plays. So we are long overdue, and I couldn't be more happy to bring Jacob on, also known as Fake Jacob. Again, just to remind you guys, all the links, not only to his YouTube channel, but to his Trovo as well as his Instagram, they're the first links you'll see down in the description. Make sure you guys go ahead and follow him. Make sure you check him out. Subscribe to his channel. Provided some awesome tips that you can start applying to your game right now. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know who you would like to see in the very next How to Play Like a Pro series, whether it be a pro player or whether it is a content creator. Let me know down below. Jacob, thank you so much for your time, answering the questions, and of course the insane gameplay that you guys have been watching. Make sure you watch it again, just for the gameplay alone. All right, guys. But until the very next one, this has been Riggs from Riggs Gaming. My God, what is this? What are these shenanigans going on?
I don't know why he does this. I don't know what this means. Oh God, they're gonna do this again. Okay.
The question is, can they make it to Pachinki? That's always his goal. Hashtag goals.
Let's just watch the Pachinki boat strap. This is amazing.
Jacob says, "Help! Help! Look out! Oh no, here it is.
It's devolved. It's just devolved into craziness, and still they will not surrender. Fake Jacob. Oh no!